I wonder if there's anybody online. Is there anyone online? Where's my phone? Oh, this weather and climate thing is just the gift that keeps on giving. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So, I said I was going to do this, so I have to do it. Weather and climate. I don't see no comments. Are we live? 10 watching. Anybody there? Let me see some Y's in the comment if you're there. 16 watching. So we're doing this last bit, and the last bit of people will come in afterwards. Varen, John, I see your Y. I see your Y. Last bit, I guess they'll watch this in the morning before exam. So this is everything on weather and climate. Everything except soils, because that was taking too long and I just end up doing that 3 o'clock and people had to go and sleep and thing. So let's get this off. Let's get this show on the road. People who learning this in 2020, this is what we did in weather and climate. Before I do that, I just want to make 2 corrections. One, the gradient that I did needs to be in ratio form. I went and checked the syllabus, so I just do gradient using my maths mind. But it's supposed to be like 1 in 3 or 1 in 5, something like that. And 2, you need to be able to link population growth and characteristics of population in the Caribbean to characteristics of population in places like Nigeria, India, and one other place. That was on the syllabus as well. Other than that, everything is cool. I remembered a lot of stuff in geography and I was able to pull it out using some textbooks and things. So, alright, let's go forward. Weather and climate. So we have 17 of you all here. Let's just refresh this, Geo students. Hey, Crick's boss is still in the dance. Well done, well done. So weather, everybody know weather is day-to-day behavior of the atmosphere at a particular point. So weather is meteorological. It has to do with what the meteorological office is saying for today. Yes, so Nigeria, China, and the Caribbean. Well done. Need to compare those. I'm waking, but I'm not living. Celine, what's going on with you? Climate, on the other hand, is a pattern over accumulated period of time. So regional pattern of weather activity over a year, right? So it's based on a year, but it's based on a whole heap of years after many years of observation. Regional pattern of weather activity over a year based on the accumulated records of many years of weather observations. At least 30 years, about 30 years before you start to say, okay, that's the climate, right? Should know about atmospheric pressure, that it's measured in millibars, and that the weight of the atmosphere on an area is really atmospheric pressure. So how much the atmosphere is pressing down on you right now is atmospheric pressure. If the air is warm and it's rising, the atmospheric pressure is going to be low. If the air is cold and it's sinking, because you know hot air rises but cold air falls, it's coming down, it's going to increase the pressure in that area. When you have a high pressure, it's going to be dry. It's like with a high pressure, it's dry. When it's a low pressure, it's wet. You expect rain to fall, because with the low pressure, it's going to pull up the air, and the air is going to get cooled up when it's rising, and it's going to get cooled lower than its dew point. So all the extra water in the air is going to condense and fall as rain. So warm air rising causes rain. Low pressure brings rain. People need to know that. Low pressure brings rain. High pressure, dry. Right? Atmospheric pressure. Part of understanding climate. In this new syllabus, you need to know how to... So I had to check the syllabus in this because the old syllabus didn't really have some of these things. You need to know how to reduce climate change. How to reduce climate change factors and describe it and talk about it and, go in depth. Geography is all about just bleeding out information and that paper. So ways to reduce climate change is obviously reducing carbon emissions, doing sustainable forestry, sustainable logging. You understand? And you need to elaborate on these. I don't think I need to tell you how to elaborate on reducing carbon emissions with dropping off fossil fuels and stuff like that. Sustainable forestry means you plant back everything you cut. educate people. We need to educate people about it, about climate change, and you need to be aware of how much of your carbon footprint, how much energy you use, and then we need to adopt renewable energy sources and come off of the natural gas. So this is 4 main ways you could elaborate on in the exam for reducing climate change. You need to know the effects of climate change. The reduction is probably the last part in the syllabus, but you need to know the effects of climate change. Wow, we have 36 people online. That's shocking. 36 of you all here after one. Effects of climate change. It increases coastal flooding, and I have a feeling like this coming tomorrow. I just have a feeling in my soul. So the effects of climate change just increases coastal flooding. Coral, you can talk about the impact on coral reefs. You can talk about the change in weather patterns. Alright, so increasing coastal flooding. Why does this happen? You need to be able to describe why it happens. The reason you're increasing in coastal flooding, words tying up in my mouth right now, but I'm so sleepy. The reason there's increase in coastal flooding is because there's expansion of water in the oceans due to the oceans getting warmer. So the oceans are rising. There's an increase in sea level. I think 7 centimeters or something. Increase in sea level. So when there's low tide, the low tide is not as low as it used to be. So the rivers are not running off as fast as they used to. So the coast is flooding. There's also melting ice at the poles, which is causing a rapid increase in ocean and sea level. And that is the #1 reason for coastal flooding. The impact on the reef. What is the impact? Well, the extra heat is causing thermal stress and something that is called coral bleaching. Coral bleaching. And I did a lot of research for this. I used about 3 textbooks that I bought and the internet and your syllabus. So this kind of on point. So take a look. Make sure you could elaborate on this. Coral. Excuse me. So coral reef impact is caused by thermal stress, extra heat. Extra heat. It's caused something called coral bleaching, which is literally killing the corals. And the increase in the coastal flooding, the increase in the rise in sea level, causing sedimentation to dump on the coral. And this is smothering the coral. Sachin Pagan is asking what I think will come. I don't know, boy, because I'm not a geo boss. But main thing is maths, and you see this how they swing the maths too. They swing the maths dread too. So predictions kind of iffy for this. I'm not going and volunteer any predictions, but I just sensing this. I just feeling like this might come. I don't know, when I was doing it, I just feeling it. Could be wrong. Change in weather patterns is a next effect of climate change. And when you want to talk more about this, what are the talking points? For the Caribbean, you can talk about more destructive hurricanes. Within the last few seasons, we had more destructive hurricanes. That's because changing weather patterns. And there's changing the time for hurricane season as well. So like hurricane season starting a little later and finishing a little later, or starting a little earlier and finishing a little later, right? So these are the 3 top things you can hit them when you're talking about the effects of climate change: increasing coastal floodings, coral reef impact, and change in weather patterns, because this really affects us in the Caribbean. Whoa, 68 people online now. Are they playing? Are they crawl out from the abyss? Are they crawl out from their bed and decide to do something, boy? Alright, so insulation. You need to understand what these words mean: insulation, radiation, and greenhouse gases when you're talking about climate change. I think insulation, this is just the solar radiation that reaches the Earth's surface. Radiation, you need to know radiation, electromagnetic radiation from the sun. This is what we get hit with. And then greenhouse gases. Just look up your greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, whatever. Gases that are greenhouse gases. I forget to write them off, look them up and write them. Greenhouse gases trap the sun's warmth in the lower atmosphere. So as the rays come in from the sun, As it's going back out, it hits the greenhouse gases and it's reflected. The one that reflects the most is infrared radiation. Infrared radiation reflected by the greenhouse gases, right? So these are some 3 talking points that I just need to know about in case they swing this in this like a piece of a question or anything. So I just make sure and cover that because I'm trying to cover everything completely. The only thing I touch is soils because, or like vegetation. You need to know what vegetation is compatible with what climate. So after I do this, maybe you could go and revise that by yourself if you haven't already. What vegetation? By the way, that singing and dancing and clapping and thing across the road by me have a Baptist church and them just getting on bad 1 o'clock in the night. So if them get you on bad, imagine how you could get on bad. You could clap and dance with your geography. Alright, so factors affecting weather and climate. These are the 5 main factors that affect what weather and what climate you would experience. These are the 4 main factors that affect what weather and climate you would experience, depending on the region you're in. 1, your latitude. Whether you're living by the equator or you're living above 23 degrees latitude. Also, your altitude. Whether you're living in the hills or you're living in the plains. Whether you're living in the mountain or you're living in the valley. Altitude. Relief. Which part of the slope are you on? Are you on the leeward side? Are you on the windward side? Relief has to do with the variation in the slope of the Earth's surface. So relief talks about the variation in the geology, right? That's what relief is talking about. So relief rainfall, we'll come to that. I'll explain relief rainfall for you. Also, remember, this is factors affecting climate change: latitude, altitude, relief, distance from the sea. How far are you away from the sea? Whether you are getting sea breeze, land breeze, what is affecting you from what is this? This would affect your climate. Whether you are deep inside, whether you are tropical, continental, or tropical marine. You know, in the Caribbean we have tropical marine climate, but in certain places like the savannas in North Australia, you'll have tropical continental climate, and that is because of the distance from the sea, and they have different effects. Prevailing winds, whether you are getting southeast trades or northeast trades, which one is hitting you? I think so, Crix boss. I think altitude is the higher the colder. Yes, that's true. But also different things happen with altitude. No sleep kind of feels you. Yes, she was. All right. So equatorial, tropical marine, and tropical continental are the 3 main climates that you must be able to function and talk and know a little vibes about these things. I mean, you have your other climates, your temperate and whatever, polar climates and whatever. You must have a little glimpse of understanding in those. When you see these, you need to be functioning tops in these, right? And there are some slight differences. Sometimes they use interchangeably, but there are some slight differences in them. The equatorial one, this is like the rainforest. This is just rain, like whoa. Equatorial like happens in the Amazon in Brazil, or the Congo in Africa, Congo Basin. This is just rain right through, non-stop, just rain. No wet season, no dry season, no nothing. This is just rain. Uniform temperature, hot and humid. Uniform rainfall, uniformish. It's a little changes, but by and large, it's just rain, brother man. And you're expecting to see a rainforest. Good night, Chandri. Tropical marine. Tropical marine is like the Caribbean. Tropical marine, you'll have the presence of hurricanes, like we have that. You'll have the presence of a clear, wet, and dry season. Anything in the Caribbean that our climate, you just describe the Caribbean climate, that is tropical marine, right? You have trade winds playing an impact. You can have relief rainfall playing an impact. You have the ITCZ playing an impact, the intertropical continental zone, the intertropical convergence zone, ITCZ. Yeah, I think I remember that correct. So that is tropical marine. That is where we live in. That's where we live in, right? And then there's the tropical continental, which I was talking about earlier. Now you're getting like parts of North Australia, and you research where else you can get tropical continental online. You can just type it in Google. This is a little more extreme. There's a clear wet season and a clear dry season. Like the savannah is just be dry. Like you ever see Lion King, you just see dust during the dry season, and during the wet season, it's like it flooding out. It's just like rain. Rain upon rain upon rain. Heavy, kind of like monsoon rainfall kind of thing taking place. Well done, Virendra. Keeping abreast with the thing. So I'll look out for that when that registration pops up. But right now, it's not time to fix up that class and organize up the online ads and everything for that class because I just teaching right through. I teaching in school and I teaching here, and I'm not sleeping. So just peace. So you must be able to talk about these three things: this, and this. These three types of climates. Make sure you can talk about them. Look it up in your textbook. Look it up in your syllabus, and look it up in your Google on Google, right? So you must be able to talk about these three types of climates to the T. You also need to explain the type of tropical vegetation you're experiencing each climate, what type of vegetation you're looking forward to. Especially this one. You see this one? Because this is ours. You must be able to talk about it. Alright, I think I elaborate enough on that. Hurricanes. You need to know the XYZs about hurricanes. You need to know your inside out about hurricanes. So let me start talking about hurricanes. Hurricanes, the Saffir-Simpson hurricane intensity scale. You must be able to, understand this a little bit. You have categories 1 to 5. I'm not too sure exactly on how much of this you need to know. I don't think you need to know the exact numbers, but I used to know the exact numbers. And also what the storm surge, what kind of surge you will get as well. Right? Talk about crustal plates. Whew, well, they're trying to kill me out here. So just look up this in your textbook, right? I just giving the numbers here for you to see. You need to know that the category 5 is the killers. Category 4 and 5, when them things touch you, your island is get ramshackle. I'm living in Trinidad, and we kind of just underneath it. Tobago is get a little touch sometime, but Trinidad, we just watch it go by. Every time it look like it coming to hit Trinidad, and then it's cool away, and we say God is a Trinity. As we say in Trinidad, right? God is a Trinity. Because we ain't getting hit with no hurricane. The hurricane is reach right in front of me, and then turn and boom, Barbados take one for the team. More about hurricanes. Where do hurricanes originate? They originate over warm water. You're talking about 27 degrees and above. That's where your hurricanes come out from. Excuse. It starts in the Atlantic Ocean first, but it can start in, I think, in the Indian Ocean as well. They get monsoons. They call it monsoons over there. But they're a little different. What is called by cyclones? But I don't really care. You can go and check up that. I'm not too sure if that's in the syllabus, but you can I used to research everything to be able to talk and explain myself better. Starts in the Atlantic Ocean, sometimes in the Caribbean Sea. Like later in the hurricane season, boom, hurricane is be starting in the Caribbean Sea and in the Gulf of Mexico. In the Gulf of Mexico, the hurricane starting from scratch, right? It just get a little warm here, and boom, all of a sudden a hurricane dealing with Mexico, a hurricane sliding up and touching Florida and thing, right? So it could start it usually starts in the Atlantic Ocean, and the hurricane season in theory is from the 1st of May to the 30th of November. But sometimes we get hurricanes after November. Sometimes these days we get hurricanes taking place after November in the Caribbean Sea. They're starting up and thing, right? So that is part of the climate change. It's shifting this way practically. What else? I'll leave out the Ian hurricane here. The hurricane. Let's go. This is how you need to know like where the arrows and the wind goes in a hurricane. This is my very lame diagram here. You know that this is the eye of the hurricane. You know that the hurricane spins in an anti-clockwise direction here. Like the lower part of the hurricane is anti-clockwise, but as it goes to the top, it kind of spirals out and spins out in a clockwise direction at the top. But the majority of the hurricane is an anti-clockwise direction. So it coming down to the Caribbean and it's spinning like this. So you see a kind of spiral thing. So with hurricane, right? Kind of spiral thing so. And these kind of arms here and the eye in the center here, a little off like that. You know that your hurricane, right? It's very wide. could be up to 400 kilometers plus going up there. It's on either side. Typhoons and cyclones are in South Pacific and Indian Ocean, respectively. Well, the typhoons, as you would have trying to remember, typhoon. And I'll do that too, so I can make it later. So it's all you know, we in hurricane season. Yeah, so that's what they're saying, but I tell you, the hurricane season kind of shift more. Like, we don't really get much hurricanes in May, obviously. Then very much April, May, June. Like you see, July, that's when it started deal with me. That's when it started deal with it, right? So you know that it goes up this column over here and goes out, goes up, goes out. But it's, remember, it's spiraling, and this is like this view, and this is like the top down view here. This is like the plan, and this is like the what is called it in technical drawing, the end elevation, the front elevation. I forget. The center is the eye, and that's about it. It can reach about 15 kilometers high, 15,000 meters high. It's formed in warm oceans. You could also know about tropical waves. The diagram in tropical waves, it's like that. You know, it's like a wave, and the warm air rises, and you know, when the warm air rises, it drops below its dew point, so it creates clouds here, and it just rain falling here. And when the tropical wave get out of hand, it just form up into a hurricane. Tropical waves form into hurricanes, right? I forget somebody, I don't know if somebody in the chat could research the formation of the hurricane. It have a process: tropical wave, this, that, storm, then hurricane. So tropical storm, then hurricane, and you need to know that. I think you need to know at least have an idea with it, the variation, right? I forget to check that in my research. All right, tropical wave weather. Definition for tropical wave: areas of low pressure in prevailing northeast trade winds. So the northeast trade coming down, and boom, it get over a warm spot in the ocean there. Why would the 2008 maths exam different in the Caribbean? That's because some people in some Verindra asked a question or something. That's because some people cheat in the exam or something like that, and they had to do it over. Basically, it was some people cheat. Someone, yeah, not leak the papers. I think excuse me, it was not leak the papers per se. It was like just a little time before the paper was released. Somebody, so I can't remember exactly. I know, and it was a whole bacchanal, but I kind of forget the details right now. Right now, I can't even think straight. I could just think about tropical climate, tropical marine climate. I'm not doing geography, but it's good to learn. This man casually, it have a man here, Jordan Rees, 1:33 in the night. He just rock back casually learning geography. What the hell is this, boy? Anyhow, tropical wave weather. This is, so I was talking about this just now, and I drew the little diagram. This is areas of low pressure in the prevailing northeast trade winds, and it's caused some problems. You need to be able to talk about. No, nobody needs this here, people. Uncle Chloe sacrificing for his sins. Black stuff. Cool. Cold fronts. Yeah. So let's talk about cold fronts. Cold fronts is the leading edge of a cold mass of air. And what's happening? The cold fronts is come down from North America. Well, come down and is interact with the warm air. And what is happening is get frontal rainfall. That's supposed to be RAINFALL. Frontal rainfall. Tired. So the frontal rainfall is rainfall predicated by the interaction of a cold front with a warm air mass. So as the cold front coming down, remember, cold air denser than warm air. It will force the warm air to come on top of it then. So I don't know if you can make this out, but this is like a cold air front here. I just paint it like that. But you know, it won't be like that, right? And it coming down towards the Caribbean. And you know, in the Caribbean, we have some hot air here. We have some hot air there. So we watching it like, what are you doing, brother? There's the hot air. And as the cold air come up here, it will force the hot air to go upwards. And now remember, the hot air has moisture in it. So as it's going upwards, it starts to cool and it drops below its dew point. So all of a sudden, it's going to form frontal rainfall. Here, it's going to form a cloud, a big, dense, kind of misty cloud. And it's just rain taking place right here. Rain. Right here. Rain. So a cold front generally always brings rain when it interacts with warm, humid air, right? The air rises, it cools a little bit, and it's just rain, right? I guess that's about it. So frontal rainfall predicated by the interaction of a cold front with a warm mass of air, or warm air mass, or whatever. Warm air mass anyway. Warm mass of air. Alright, anticyclones. You could be able to talk about this as well. I think this could pop up, this word could pop up. Anticyclones, these are broad areas of high pressure. So they come along with the cold fronts as well, right? High pressure is here. And anytime you have high pressure, what do you expect? High pressure, dry. Low pressure, wet. So when there's high pressure, you expect no rainfall, less rainfall. It's gonna be a dry time. Alright. Are you making fun of my angry face? And look at that diagram now. It don't get better than that. 1 to 3 night, and this man producing quality works of art here. Wait now, we done? No, we done. We done weather and climate. We still need to talk. And remember, I told you all I'm missing out the part in weather with the types of vegetation that, you know, gravitates to which or survives in which climate, right? So you need to learn that. But here's something you need to know about the ITCZ. ITCZ, right? The Intertropical Convergence Zone. Yeah, we're starting that. So the ITCZ is a region where the overhead tropical sun creates great heat. So what is really happening here? Remember the Earth like this, eh? There's the Earth. Remember it tilted a little bit. There's Trinidad. I must draw Trinidad. Wow. And that's the only thing I'm drawing on this. There's the equator here. And the sun beating out on we there, boy. So that's the sun beating out on we there. So the area which perpendicular to the sun rays, I say perpendicular, they probably make people catch a little bit anxiety, boy. Maths again, boy, oh God, not again. Right, but the part where the sun directly overhead beating down here, this is the intertropical convergence zone. And what do you think going on happening? What do you think going on happening there? That's the hottest part on the earth. That's literally the hottest part on the earth during the year. It's go up and down. Because when the earth on the next side now, when the earth on this side, I don't know why the earth looking so sardinish right now. Let me just kind of fix him up there. Try and be a circle now, boy. So when the earth on the next side of the sun now and the sun rays coming here, this will be the equator. So the hottest part will be under the equator. So all you know about this, right? This is why it's caused the whole change in seasons and everything. The fact that the earth have a little tilt. So the fact that we have a little tilt means that the ITCZ goes up and down throughout the year. Up and down. And places like Guyana, Suriname always get mashed up with the ITCZ because everywhere the ITCZ go is rainfall. And let me show you why. If you're getting heat here, this is the earth, right? You're getting heat here. What I'll tell you about warm air. Warm air will rise. So the warm air rises and draws in air from, let's call this the north. It's like the northern hemisphere. This is where the white walkers live in. And this is the south, the southern hemisphere. This is where Cersei Lannister and them live in. So this coming up here and getting drawn in. Remember, let me move this arrow. This arrow should be a little higher up. This is the sun. And this is the ITCZ. And what happens as this comes up here is going to create It's gonna, as soon as air started to rise, hot air that was blazing down in humid regions, this man can't draw to save his life. You may rack up and go. You hurt my feelings. I just played, man. I just played. Actually, I could draw. I could draw. Go on my Instagram and check out some of my drawings. Have you not seen my life? Some of the videos I make of my life stories, I can actually draw. But I don't know. Like when I pick up a marker, the worst possible handwriting in the world is just come out. The worst drawings in the world is come out. Anyhow, so you have a cloud here, and this cloud is going to make rain because anytime warm air starts to rise, once that warm air was dealing with somewhat, like in a tropical region, remember like us, there's islands there, and all around, we have all around water. So that warm air have it stacked up, it reaches saturation point with water. So the minute that starts to rise, it will cool in the upper atmosphere, create clouds, rain, condensation, rain. So the ITCZ is just like a moving piece of rain. Moving piece of rain, and you just have air rushing in. From the south, you have the southeast trades, and from the north, you have the northeast trades. So like this, northeast trades and southeast trades. And in the middle here, ITCZ. Right? This looking like some kind of bomb, some kind of. I see I'm not using the red and look what I'm doing. Red all over the place. Just like one big red mess piece of mess here. Alright, so let me continue with this ITCZ. Let's talk a little bit about it. Now, is one thing understanding it. I think when I talk, people understand, but it's another thing to be able to regurgitate it back in the exam. So, to know that you can regurgitate it, you're supposed to be taking your little notes and taking down the key points and things. Region where the overhead tropical sun creates greatest heat, and then the reason the rising air draws more air from the north and south hemisphere, and convectional rainfall will occur. So as the northeast trades and the southeast trades meet the ITCZ, they'll rise up and they'll get convectional rainfall taking place right around here. No, people, 2 maths 2, add maths 2 in our section 2. Sea breeze is caused by the heat from the land rising and the cool land. Yeah, sea breeze, well done. Smokey, I know that maths had your sick was squared in Guyana. Receive rainfall from ITC twice a year, right? Yes, that's correct. Because the ITCs go above them and then go under them. So them just begins plow. In the height of summer, they just get hit with it. And then somewhere around November or so, they just get hit with it again, backs as it coming down. Right? As it passing it back again. Okay. Relief rainfall. This is the last note I have here on climate and weather. And I feel it's the last for tonight. My energy bar. I need to save some energy. Who knows? I might do some music. But anybody here doing music? I doubt it have anybody here doing music. Press Y in the chat if you're doing music. Let me see. How much people it have? How much people it have in the chat? And they press like on the video too, so those tomorrow could get notified about it. I've seen 75, 86 people, so press like on the video. Jamelia June is doing music. Well, music is one of my strongest subjects because I am a musician. I play the keyboard, the guitar, the drums. So I may take a look at some music past papers and hit some of that tomorrow to what it help. Right? Let's talk about relief rainfall though. AKA orographic rainfall. I'm just choosing to use them fancy with. I don't sing. Well, I don't really sing that much again. Who really do music for CSEC? I don't think there's much people doing music, but we'll still reach to just help them out. And then I'll be focusing on maths and focusing on getting organized for June for maths online classes. They're going to be legendary. They're going to be legendary. Having maths online classes like that at a good number with nice quality and everything. They're going to be boss. The uplifting of air. So relief rainfall, you need to be able to talk about relief rainfall and describe it and draw and go ahead with relief rainfall. This happens in the Caribbean all the time. We get condensation rainfall, go 3 types of rainfall and relief rainfall. Because the uplifting of the air by the relief, by the mountain, the hill, whatever, I'm doing chem and I'm doing physics and I'm doing art maths. For sure, I'm doing some more videos on them subjects. I might do music. I should do IT as well. I just need to take a look at the syllabus and what's next and everything, and then I'll pull out my timetable. So, what the uplifting of the air, this happening not because of the ITCZ now. This happening because you have an island here, and the whole island is a hill. Let me take Tobago then. The whole island is just, it's a real hills. So when the Northeast Straits coming down minding their own business, they would meet the hill and they'll be like, yo, we had to rise up. And what you know what is happening with when airs rise. All of this is always happening when they're making the air rise. What is happening when you make the air rise? The uplifting of the air causes condensation. This causes rainfall. And the rainfall is happening the windward side. Most of the rainfall happens on the windward side and the top of the hill or the top of the mountain. So as soon as the air rises, it will create the clouds, and a lot of the rainfall is happening right here and then. Right here and then, boom, it's just rainfall. That's relief rainfall. It's happening at the top too. And it can happen on this side, but usually this side is the dry side, and this side is called the wet side. Understand? Because this is where the air rises. This side is called the wet side. There's the wet side here. This side is the leeward side. Understand? That's the leeward side. That's the dry side. On the top of the mountain, you can get mist. It'll be cold. It'll be wet. This is your northeast Straits coming down here. And this is like if you was watching it from above. It coming down, it hit the island, and it had to rise. Alright, so that's enough for climate. That's enough for weather. We talk about a lot of things there. You need to know how to describe it though. It's one thing understanding it, but using the proper words and things in geography is some students who are not natural in describing and good with the English language. So, Randy, you really asking me that boy before the thing, but I kind of recommend this, although this missing some things. I really recommend this for the map reading. This textbook, I can't really show you the pictures because I don't want to get no copyright problems. But this textbook is good. I may go and talk to the owner, but I didn't have time. I might go and talk to the CP, the publisher, and the writer, and see if they would mind me promoting this, because I like this book. I like this book. If they allow me to promote it, then I might be able to use the content online. People will buy it. It'll be a win-win situation for me and for them. I will get to use nice diagrams because I really wanted to do more map reading, but I just don't have a map to thing it now. So I'll get to use this book to show you all how to do the exercises. So this was a nice book. I also have, you all know, one of my weaknesses is always buying textbooks. I try to stay away from the bookstore because I just end up buying one set of textbooks. Wasting money buying textbooks. I mean, I read it, so it's not like I'm wasting money. This is the next textbook I have, which is good. This one more, it's sweeter looking, but I actually like this one more, even though this one not as nice looking as this one. This one is by CP as well. So I don't know what kind of competing thing is this, because this one is a different author. This one is a different author here. So I don't know what's going on. This one cheaper and it's bigger, so you can get bigger diagrams. This one is nice as well. Alright, so authors of these books, if you're watching, if you have students watching, if you have family watching, if you know the authors of these books, I'll like to talk to them and we'll see what's going on. Yeah, the Rahel book. You're like y'all, let's get the Rahel book. It's the Rahel book. Let me just take a little look at the Rahel book again. The Rahel are right, you know, but I still leaning towards the other one, guys. The other one have way more questions and it's structured nicer. And you know, I'm a boss. I love to look at how people structure their teaching. I don't like to look at how people, if the author sound like he kind of just showing off his skills, but he's not helping the student, I don't care for that textbook. I want to see how if he explaining it well and captivating the student with this topic. Anyway, guys, let me not keep you no longer with old talk. I hope this benefits some people. I hope this maybe takes some people into the one region, maybe take them into the two, maybe If they can't, if they wasn't going to pass, maybe it helped them pass. I hope this helped y'all. Sorry about the maths. A lot of people right now, people hitting the memes and maths and things saying that the maths kill me and all too. But it happens. It happens. A lot of the stuff on my channel would have helped you for the maths, which is the number one reason why I stopped the live last night, because I was getting a feeling that the students needed to revise more and not just watch me in the live for that subject at that moment in time. So anyway, try and be as prepared as possible. Maybe I will do music tomorrow. If not, you wouldn't see anything from me tomorrow. I'll be sleeping, trying to recover. A lot of people, thanks for you're welcome to all the people who got through the maths and mashed up the maths and was messaging me on Instagram. I don't know if any of you all here. Those people kind of keeping quiet because they don't want to aggravate the people who struggle with the maths. But some people mash it up. Some people who thought they get over 80% already. So good luck, man. Good luck in the geo. I will definitely come back and do some geo paper ones as well when geo is coming up. We have everything to do. Yeah, people mash up that maths exam, mash it up. Them people exist, but I honestly think this was probably one of the hardest exams in maybe a 10-year period for y'all. For the students, fast students is one of the hardest exams because how they change it up now. It's not like it's not straightforward. You know, number 1, number 2, and number 3 wasn't so bad. But you see 4, 5, 6, 7 nightmares, especially 7. Number 8 was kind of weird too. Some people fall out with number 10. Some people can get the circle geometry. So y'all will see the solutions. Maybe I might get time to do the solutions tomorrow. I'll have to write up stuff because I can't use that bootleg version they peddling around. Anyhow, hold it up. Later. Let me see how much people in the live. It started to climb back up to 100. Y'all go and revise.